Hi, in this video, I want to go over how to create that folder structure or folder system that we did on the Mac on a PC using the Windows operating system rather than the Macintosh operating system. This is almost identical, but of course it's a little bit different navigating around a PC. I think I already mentioned that I am primarily a Mac user. I'm in a Mac about 90% of the time. It is the standard for the photo industry. So I'm not quite as fluent when we get into the PC, but I think I can muddle my way through and show you how to navigate this system. Once you get into the applications, Macs and PCs look exactly the same. And throughout the course, I'll be pointing out to you the differences and whenever necessary, making an extra video to show you how things look on the PC. Okay, so the first thing, we actually have my external hard drive, Ideal Student, and my card reader plugged in. So they're both in there, but they don't show up on the desktop the way they do in the Mac. We need to actually come down and navigate to the file explorer, and it's going to load up. It's defaulting into a function called quick access, which is fine. But what we're going to do is just to bypass that by clicking on this little arrow here. And you notice that comes down. That's a left click, by the way. And when it comes down, you can see that both Ideal Student, my external hard drive, and my card, Nikon D7200 are both in there. So let's start by going into Ideal Student. And again, it's just a double click. There are different ways to view these, by the way. Right now, this is on extra large icons. I'll just click it to large icons. So it's a little bit like the Mac system. I'm not as familiar with it, but you can explore different ways of viewing these icons. So there's the drive. If I double click on the drive, of course, then we see demo. One thing that's interesting in this, and then you open up demo, we have those same folders. You can see that in a PC, the folders show you that there's something in them because you can see the papers coming out or the photos coming out in some cases. So let's just go back to Ideal Student. So we're inside of that. One thing I've noticed is that the view, the view isn't consistent across the board. So as you change, you might have to go back to your favorite view, but we'll just stay with this for now. I've shown you inside demo, I want to make that one new folder that we're going to use for all my photos and create the same file structure in that we did for on the PC. So go up here. This is where you have a new folder, and there is a shortcut, Control-Shift-N. One of the things that I want to point out right now is the primary difference between navigating shortcuts on a PC and a Mac has to do with the difference between Control and Command. These commands are virtually identical on both computers, but on a PC, it's going to be Command-Shift-N, and on the this is Control. So you can pretty much just replace Control for Command. I'm not going to do the shortcut because this is very easy to just click on that and it's going to give you that new folder. Oops, I think I double clicked it. I don't really want the second folder here. So I'm going to do Control Z, which is a great way of just backtracking. This new folder is empty. I'm going to go ahead and click open. Oops, nope, I'm not. I'm going to go back here because we want to, before we go there, we want to name it. Exactly the same process. And I'll call this all my photos, just like we did before. And then double click. And inside of this, we're going to create, as you might recall, two folders. And there's something I really do like about the PC here first. One is it's very easy to just click that folder twice. The other is this. So I'm going to name the first one, just like we did before, Photo 29. This is going to be for the class. And the second one is Everything Else. And you notice that with the PC, oh, how nice. It doesn't automatically make it alphanumeric. So we can just list them in the order that we want. I really do like that. It kind of drives me crazy sometimes in the Mac. Okay, so we have those. And then remember, we went into Photo 29 And in this one, we're going to go ahead and make 3 folders. And the first one will be exercise 1. We'll just call it O1. Actually, we don't need to do that anymore because it's in the PC. You can do it this way. We'll just call this 20 photos. We'll call the second one, oops, yeah, it's getting away from me. The second one we'll call 3 ways. That's the next assignment. And the third one we'll call abstraction. And we don't need to put those numbers on them, much easier in that way because they just stay put wherever we want them. Okay, now let's go back. This gets a little bit more complicated. And I think there's a couple ways to do it, but I'm going to show you the most straightforward way, the traditional way. I can go ahead and I'll just open up 20 photos. We're going to put some stuff in there, but in order to do that, we're going to go back here. We're going to go to Nikon D7200. And you'll remember this. This is very similar. We get into the file and we see there's these JPEGs. These are all the files that I shot for this assignment. And you can actually click on them, get little previews. This is very much like the Mac. And also like the Mac, we can select them all. We can do it either by holding the first and going to the last with the Shift key, or we can do Control, not Command, but Control. And Control is 2 keys over to the left. Do Control All, and I'm going to do another shortcut. This is the easiest way to manage this. I'm going to do Control C, which is copy. On a Mac, that would be Command C, but on a PC, it is Control C. And then I can just go back. There we go. Come on. Nope, I don't want that. Oh, I'm right-clicking. That's what always gets me in trouble on the PCs. And I'm going to go back to Ideal Student. Oops, this is unlike a PC. Usually it stays, unlike a Mac, usually it stays in there. I'm going to go back into all my photos. Photo 29. Oh, and it did default. I was wrong about that, but that's okay. We're in here, and I'm going to do Control and V. Control V is copy, and you can see it's copying 58. Those are the photos that I shot. 58 photos from the card into my folder. So this is exactly what we did before. From here, you can also go ahead and create that new folder that is the 5 favorites, and go through and select the favorites that you want to put in there. Okay, that is about it. There's just one last thing that I want to walk you through, and that is how to safely eject your drives. Just as on a Mac, on a PC, we need to eject any media that we've plugged in, like external hard drives or SD cards or card readers. We need to make sure that we eject them first before we yank them out, or we risk damaging the drives or losing data. So this is really important. There's a couple different ways to do this on the PC, but the easiest way is actually to come down to this little shortcut. It's a little bit of a secret. There's a little arrow right here. If you click here, there's a little flash drive right here. And see how when I go on there, it actually says safely remove hardware and eject media. I'm going to click on that. Sometimes it takes it a second. Not sure why. It just takes it a second to pop it up. Come on. Okay. There we go. So it pops it up. Just takes a second to find it. And so the top one is actually Ideal Student. It's listing it by its drive name. And all I have to do is just click that. And it tells me I can undo that. And then I actually have to do that process again for the Nikon, for the SD card. And I click that, and it's safe to remove that. That is it. That's all. Hopefully that helps you. We'll do some more PC videos later on in the course, and hopefully it'll keep you PC users up to speed.